All right, I'm live, it says. One second, y'all. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let me make sure shit is on. Let me break this down because good news, good news, good news. One second now, let me just set this up. And 1 second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I just wanted to make a brief video um, and tell some good news. I don't know why I'm late on this news. Check out my shirt. A zealous supporter of the what? The right to bear arms. Okay, so I just wanted to support my shirt for this real quick discussion. What's up, information show? How you doing, brother? All right, so the other day I ordered some. Actually, last month I ordered some ammo. Right, so in California, um, you have your ammo shipped to an FFL dealer, and then your ammo or guns, you have it shipped to an FFL dealer. I order stuff on Gun Broker, and I have it sent to a FFL dealer, which is the law, and you have to. Um, then you go there, and they take your ID and run your information through the Department of Justice, and bam, you clear. Then they give you your ammo. Now with guns, you got to wait about 30 days and come back and get your gun. Okay, once they run your information through the DOJ. So as I went to my FFL dealer to pick up my ammo, when was this? Last week. And when I go there, we talk. Real cool, white guy. He be like, Chief X, what's up, and how you doing? But anyway, when I went there to pick up my ammo, I asked him because I always ask. I said, I got this business. Do you think the city of Los Angeles will allow me to get my conceal and carry permit? He said, no, no chance. And everybody, I've been knowing that. So, but I just asked because he's up on information. He has a lot of people who come in and out of his shop for gun repair. He's a gunsmith. He's an FFL dealer. So people come. So I always ask him when I go show up. He said, hey, Chief X, they're issuing CCWs now. I said, what? Because California, New York, Chicago, Baltimore, these big cities are very strict on gun laws. Okay. So I said, what? He said, yeah, go check it out. Apply for your CCW license. I couldn't believe him. So I get home and get on the internet and start Googling shit, and I start YouTubing shit. And lo and behold, California, Los Angeles per se. So if you live in California and you go to San Bernardino or the Valley or the desert, you can get a conceal and carry, a CCW, in those areas, but not in Los Angeles. It's really tough, damn near impossible, unless you're law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. Sometimes, you know, if you have some a business as a jeweler and you're carrying in diamonds and money back and forth to the bank, they'll allow people like that to get a conceal and carry permit. Or business owners, you can conceal and carry in your place of business or in your home, you know. But just to carry on the streets or when you're out and am going to the store for self-protection, City of Los Angeles has always been against it. Okay? So they've opened up. And I wanted to explain, and it's just good news, and I got excited about it. See, I've been advocating. And the sheriff out here, Sheriff Villanueva, which I'm definitely voting for when it's voting time. See, election season is coming up for sheriffs, they say. So anyway, I will be voting for him because no sheriff out here has ever done this in decades. He done it because crime has went up in California big time, and there's not enough police officers on the street to come to your aid in time if there's a life and death situation, right? So let me just show real quick the video. And we're gonna be out of here in about 15 minutes. This is just a 15-minute stream. So let's go. Let's just go over this real quick. Then I'm gonna show you how to get your permit and fill it out, and we're gonna talk about it. 1 second. Is this it? Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna play this 2-minute video, and then I'm gonna show you how to get your permit and what you need to do. Okay. Here we go.
Firing away with legal firearms here at LAX Range in Ammo and Inglewood, where they teach gun owners safety courses on how to properly handle their firearms.
You know, some common sense as well as some knowledge of, good gun handling skills are important.
That is the LA County Sheriff's Department will now clear the way to possibly put more guns on the streets by adding manpower to its unit that handles applications for CCW permits or carry concealed weapons permits, a move the sheriff himself is backing after a dramatic explosion of violent crime countywide. Check out these numbers during the first 5 months of this.
I paused it. Now, this is why this good sheriff deputy has been allowing Los Angeles residents to get a conceal and carry permit for these reasons.
Year alone, as compared to the same time last year, homicide increased more than 95%. Grand theft auto up by more than 40%, arson more than 22%, aggravated assault almost 13%, and rape 7.8%.
Because we have less cops on the street, more crooks, less consequences. What could go wrong with that combination, right? We've increased our capacity to process CCW permits. We made the good cause standard achievable, and we're recognizing that the threat to the residents is increasing.
Last year, the Sheriff's Department approved just over 200 CCW requests, but so far this year, there's been a big increase in applications alone. But not everybody will get a permit. First, you have to pass a background check, then attend an hours-long course with a deputy on safety, and there's even more.
So you've got to go through some training and know the do's and don'ts of being able to handle and carry a firearm. It's just not like you carry a firearm and do whatever I want with it. There are, the ramifications and things you can and can't do.
A decision by the Sheriff's Department that now fuels the debate over gun control as law enforcement itself stands ready to allow more people to carry guns out in public.
Yes, and that's definitely scary. I'm completely against them.
I don't see the problem with it. I don't see the problem with
Not concerned about adding more guns out on the streets?
I mean, like I said, guns are out in the streets regardless. I mean, if people are entitled to carry the weapons, I don't see why not. I don't see why not legalize it,
And the debate goes on. Most out here saying there are so many guns out on the streets already. What difference will this make? But they admit with the training and the background checks that come with the CCW, it most likely will add some safety to all the guns that might be hitting the streets with the approval of the Sheriff's Department. For now, we're here in West LA. Ed Lascos, back to both of you.
Bam, ain't that good news? Ain't that good news? 1 second. 1 second. That is fucking
now
excellent news.
On an eyewitness news investigation, the alleged sheriff's deputy gang that has branded its member.
Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. That is fucking good news, right? So if a robber, what's up, T-Ben? If a robber, a carjacker, knows that, hey, these people out here can't conceal and carry, I'm safe. They're not gonna shoot at me if I try to jack them, rob them, what have you. So when people know that you are able to conceal and carry, or it's a city where people can conceal and carry, just average everyday citizens, they will be less likely to try to rob you and take that chance on their life. Okay, so when the people are armed, and I'm not just talking about anybody, I'm talking about upstanding, responsible men and women and citizens. When they are armed, it cuts down crime. These are the facts. It shows. Okay, so I'm not sure why Cali hasn't been done this, but let's just go over how to get your CCW license. 1 second. Let me share my screen real quick, and we're gonna be out of here. Oops, wait a minute. Let me remove that for a second. So just to show you, I applied. I went on the website and I downloaded the application. It's a 14-page application. California Department of Justice Bureau of Firearms Standard Initial and Renewal Application for License to Carry a Concealed Weapon. Okay, so let me just show you, and we're gonna get out of here. Because I had some friends in LA, and I know some people in Cali who are interested in this. I just wanted to share. I don't even think people knew that they're able to conceal and carry. But here we go. It's a little delay. Let me see. Okay, it popped up. Now let me expand it and blow it up a little bit. Bam, 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 bam. So everyone can see it. All right. This is the Los Angeles LASD, which is Los Angeles Sheriff Department.org. This is the Conceal and Carry Weapon Licensing, CCW. Says the issuance of licenses enabling a private citizen to carry a concealed weapon, CCW, is of great concern to the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department in accordance with California Penal Code such and such, and subject to department policies and procedures. Any Los Angeles County resident may be issued a CCW from the sheriff if qualified. Okay, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department does not approve or endorse any private companies that offer streamlining services to assist CCW applicants with the application process. Don't listen to the no bullshit you see online about getting a CCW if it's not from the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. They don't give a fuck about what nobody else is talking about, okay? Don't be fooled and get this national CCW shit. It don't fucking work. If LA County Sheriff Department connected with the DOJ ain't let you have it or say so, don't believe it. Okay. CCW. So here's the application process. Okay, the applicant will thoroughly fill out complete sections 1 through 8, including section 7, and sign the pages of the Department of Justice standard application. The completed application can be submitted to your local sheriff station or mailed to, if you're in California, the Hall of Justice, attention CCW coordinator. Because Los Angeles Sheriff Department, Hall of Justice, opened up a department specifically to coordinate and issue out CCW permits. They have a department specifically for that now, okay? This is on 211 West Temple Street, 8th floor, Los Angeles, California. Okay, so what you do is you pay a $30 non-refundable cashier's check or money order. Now, I went to the post office today, got my money order. I filled out the application last night, and I mailed this shit off to right here to the Hall of Justice on Temple Street. It's a $30 non-refundable cashier's check or money order made payable to Los Angeles County Sheriff Department. You should be included with the application. So along with the application, you put in your money order or cashier's check and mail it to the Hall of Justice. And then included with the application. Once the application is received, the applicant will be contacted to schedule an interview. Prior to submitting the application, please ensure that all qualifications have been met to avoid any delay. The qualifications to get your CCW. Each applicant must, what did it say? Be of good moral character. Provide good cause. Now, good cause was a stumbling block for people in Los Angeles. I'm not an ex-cop. I'm not a current cop. I mean, law enforcement. I'm not a jeweler where I'm running around with diamonds and running back and forth to the bank. I'm none of that. So good cause wasn't, okay, excuse me. Saying strictly I wanted for self-defense wasn't good cause to the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. Today it is. But when I filled out my application, just kind of spice it up. And I added the reasons of what the good cause that I needed it for. I told him I'm 51 years old. I've never had a felony. I've never been on formal probation. I've never been on parole. I'm an upstanding citizen. Things is getting tough in my neighborhood. People are running around. I've been threatened in my neighborhood. And I want to be able to protect myself. I'm too old to be fighting these days. I have a business. And I'm making decent money now, and I'm running back and forth. I have a business and products I carry and deliver. I need to have a CCW, and I let them know. I said, "Hey, I'm just ad-libbing." But also, I wrote down, I have almost an 800 credit score, and I'm a responsible 51-year-old man who's an upstanding citizen. That's my good cause, and I just wrote all that, and I think it'll go. Okay. Also, be a minimum of 21 years old. Also, you have to own a registered firearm in California. Because somebody asked me, can I go apply? I said, do you have a firearm? If you don't have a firearm, what the hell are you applying for a CCW for? So you have to own and have a registered firearm in California before you apply for your CCW. Okay? Now, also reside in Los Angeles County. Before I get to the other stuff, let me just say this. This is important to know. On the application, it asks you to put down the weapon that you will be concealing and carrying. What weapon is this? And you have to write down the serial number, which is on the bottom of my firearm. This is a registered firearm in California. It's California compliant. You can't come from another state and live in California when you had a previous CCW with a firearm from that state. California has a specific firearms list that you have to abide by. I cannot have any old firearm. You have to have a firearm that's registered on the California's list of registered firearms. And it's a strict list. But this one's on there. So I recommend to people, if you're going to apply for a CCW, get you a compact weapon. And this is a Model 442. Model 442s are known to police officers. And they usually use them. It's empty. It's empty, y'all. Okay? So we always do that when we do videos. So a lot of sheriff deputies, a lot of policemen use these little lightweight, because it's aluminum frame, a steel cylinder, and a carbon steel barrel. But the aluminum frame is what makes it really lightweight and small. You know, they carry these as ankle on their ankle, or as backups. A little 5-shot revolver. So when I put this down, I put the serial number in this. So in the eyes of the sheriff department, this looks good as specifically a self-defense weapon. This is basically made specifically for self-defense. It's not made for range fun because it sucks at the range and it's painful to shoot. It doesn't have a hammer, so it doesn't snag. So if you put it out your pocket, so this is a self-defense firearm, a known one, and a good self-defense firearm. This is strictly for self-defense. So I put this down on the application with the serial number, which looks good. What else was I going to say? Oh, let me finish going over this this app. Okay, so I just want to explain this. Now, required documents. The following documents are required and will be submitted at the time of your interview. Any required document not provided will result in a canceled interview and will need to be rescheduled. You have to have a valid California's driver's license or California identification card, original birth certificate, if you don't have that, or your naturalization certificate, or your fucking passport, a valid passport. Okay. Proof of Los Angeles County residency, bring in a utility bill. If you don't have a utility bill, advise your investigator or the person who's going to interview you when they call you, when you are contacted to discuss additional documents accepted as proof of residency. Your DD-214, if applicable, for people who are in the military. Documents supporting good cause, if applicable. And it says here, police reports, restraint orders, etc. So good cause for some people submitting an application is police reports. Somebody threatened you and you had a police report. Restraining order. Somebody's after you. You want people away from you. Those are good cause reasons to get a CCW for self-defense. And you put that down on your application. Okay. Los Angeles County Sheriff Department does not approve or endorse any private companies that offer streamlining services to assist CCW applicants with the application process. Okay. Then next, the applicant must successfully complete a firearms training course per penal code such and such. After a thorough background investigation, the applicant will be contacted by the CCW coordinator to proceed with firearms training. So I don't need my firearms training yet. After my interview, they say, hey, go take your firearms training. You go take your firearms training, pay for your class, and turn the paperwork in. After a thorough background investigation, the applicant will be contacted by the CCW coordinator to proceed with firearms training from a Los Angeles County Sheriff Department approved training provider. Okay. New applicants must complete a training course lasting at least 8 hours, not exceeding 16 hours. I do not feel like doing no motherfucking training course for 8 hours, but I will do it. Okay. Renewal applicants must complete training course lasting at least 4 hours. So you have to renew one if you already have a CCW permit. You take a 4-hour class, okay? The course shall include instructions on firearm safety, firearm handling, shooting techniques, and laws regarding the permissible use of a firearm. All firearms shall be inspected by the training provider to ensure that it is a safe, operable, and in compliance with California state and federal regulations. Applicants must complete and pass a live fire course with each firearm to be listed on the license. Handgun requirements. Any handgun that the applicant intends to carry and have listed on their CCW license, the firearm I showed you will be listed on the permit if I'm given one, okay? Failure to follow the criteria or failure to adhere to California state and federal regulations result in an immediate suspension and or revocation of the license. A handgun must be registered, droves, to the applicant. A handgun must be concealable upon the person or reasonably sized bag or purse. AR pistols and similar handguns are not permitted. So when I was telling you guys about these AR pistols, see, that shit looks bad in court in a self-defense case. You got an AR and shit, you know, big old, that doesn't look good. In court, it just doesn't. Unless it's like you're an open carry state and people, you know. But what was I going to say? It's something I just forgot. Oh, okay, here we go. Let me just get back to you guys real quick. Real quick. I got my pajamas on. Don't talk about me, y'all. Conceal and carry means it has to be concealed, meaning you can't see it. You can't even tell. It's concealed. Now, if I'm doing this and it's hanging, like you can see, that's not concealed. It's showing. Can't do that. This is concealed and carried. It shouldn't be shown. Okay? Let me just get back and we're gonna get out of here. 5 more minutes. They got a list of firearm training providers. Shooting proficiency standards is one. Want to be okay. Now, license issuance. When the applicant has completed their firearm training course, send a copy of the completed and signed shooting proficiency form to CCW. That's their email. Okay. The CCW coordinator will contact the applicant, me and you, to schedule a pickup date for their license to carry a concealed weapon. On the day of pickup, the applicant is required to bring the following: a check or money order in the amount of $120 payable to the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department. Okay. Also, the application fee is $30. The initial and the renewal. The live scan fees for your initial license are $120 for 2 years. Every 2 years, you have to renew it. If you have a CCW and you renew it, your renewal fee is $52 every 2 years. Okay? So I will have to pay, because this is my initial license, $120. And that covers your live scans and all that. Okay? These are just like some frequently asked questions, and we're gonna get out of here. What you say that I'm missing some questions. T-Ben, do they require class time and range time as a part of the process? Yeah. The training course I read, I probably read it after you asked that question. Maybe I'm jumping in the gun. The questions, no pun intended. If ever pulled over by police here in Texas, it was suggested to always provide the police with your driver's license and also your CCL. It shows you're upstanding. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's a story because I follow these firearm channels and these gun channels. This guy was a former law enforcement officer, and I was just listening to his story. He said he's given up his CCW. I'm like, why is he giving up his CCW? He said because he had an incident when he was pulled over one day. I guess in the system, I forget what state he was at, whatever. It notated to the officers that he was a CCW, a firearms carrier. So when he got pulled over, they drew down on him. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. So after that incident, he said he's giving up his CCW license because when he gets pulled over, he does not want that to be notated or listed. And he don't want to end up getting shot. So I said, damn. So I thought about that, but I don't know how the systems work and how they work. But yeah, because when they come up to your door, they're going to ask you anyway, license and insurance, do you have any weapons or whatever? So if you have a CCW, you should say, yes, I have weapons and I have a CCW permit. You give him your license and your CCW permit. And I'm sure he's going to check out your gun. And if that gun that you do have isn't on that CCW permit, then you're in trouble. You can't just carry around any gun. You have that gun, that the type of gun that you are carrying, concealing and carrying, has to be on that CCW permit in California. I don't know about other states, but it's probably similar. Okay. Do I need to own a firearm at the time of application? I covered that earlier. Yes, you have to have a handgun registered to you in the state of California at the time of the application. If you do not, you do not qualify to obtain a CCW. Are there any restrictions on the firearm I can carry? The firearm that you list on your CCW application must be a handgun that is registered to you in your state of California. AR pistol platforms and similar handgun styles are prohibited. The handgun must also be capable of being concealed upon a person or within a reasonably sized bag or purse. There are no caliber restrictions. The ammunition must comply with the state and federal regulations. Magazine capacity is not restricted. However, the use of any magazine with a capacity above 10 rounds is only permitted if the applicant is in legal possession of such magazine. Where can you turn in your application? To the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department. What is the renewal process? We went over that already. How do I amend my license? They don't accept amended licenses. And that's about it. Then they have rules down here. So you can go to the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department website, lasd.org, if you're in California, to figure all this out. And that's how you get your CCW permit in California if you're an upstanding citizen. You have a registered firearm. No felonies. You just basically have to be an upstanding citizen. Now, in California, Los Angeles, anybody's not gonna get one. They're gonna scrutinize your application and be knocking people. But I don't think I should have any problems. I just wanted to make this video to let people know that Los Angeles is now accepting applications for conceal and carry permits. Okay. Now, as I was doing this, I forgot about this case. Let me just show this case and we're going to get out of here. It was a CHP officer. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is 12 years ago, right? CHP officer Tamika Johnson. This is Tamika Johnson and her husband. Can y'all see that? Tamika Johnson was a CHP officer. I knew Tamika Johnson 13 years ago. Okay? Tamika Johnson, I was her loan officer and realtor. I refinanced one of her homes. I used to flirt with this chick right here, Tamika Johnson. Actually, I used to flirt with all my female clients. I used to say, as a realtor, I'm going to get your home and then I'm going to fuck you in your home. I'm just clowning y'all, but for real talk. So, right. So I used to flirt with him. I refinanced her house one time. And I remember we was talking about doing some other business and she wanted to invest some money and buy some other property. Right. So she came by and I remember we were standing in front of my gate just talking. I had no idea. Tamika Johnson seemed like a normal, nice lady. I knew she was a little athletic because she played basketball in high school and stuff. She was an excellent bowler. This is her right here and her baby. So her baby is 13 now, right? And they're trying to get her clemency. But just can you imagine if me and Tamika had to end up getting together? I heard after the shooting, and we heard that she shot her husband. I heard she was controlling. She drank a lot, and she would snap. She got power hungry, and just started acting out. So I was just gonna play this little 2-minute video about Tamika Johnson, and I just remember this chick. I was her realtor, and when she got convicted and sentenced, if y'all remember, she was the one who passed out in court because they gave her 50 years to life for shooting her husband. They didn't take her self-defense claim after the investigation. and she got 50 years to life. Eligible for parole in 2039. This is just a 2-minute video. Let me play it.
Eyewitness News reporter Gene Gleason is live at LA County Sheriff's headquarters in Monterey Park with the latest on the investigation. Gene?
Well, David, sheriff's officials here say their detectives are conducting a full investigation of the shooting Saturday night. The 27-year-old CHP officer shot and killed her own husband while they were on their way home from dinner. Officer Tamika Johnson allegedly told detectives her husband became verbally and physically combative during an argument as they returned from dinner late Saturday night. The couple married just 2 years ago. This is their wedding photograph. Johnson reportedly told detectives she pulled out a handgun and shot her husband as he attempted to abuse her.
There was a domestic dispute that turned aggressive between the victim and the suspect, and she was able to produce a handgun, and at which time she did shoot the suspect, her husband.
Friends and relatives of Lamar Lemons deny he was abusive. They told Eyewitness News today they heard the shooting took place in the car and that she continued on to her parents' home here on Amantha Street in Compton before calling police. Officer Johnson, who's been on the CHP about 2 years, remains free, according to the Sheriff's Department, because she's not a flight risk.
You have a CHP off-duty officer, so she's not a flight risk. We know who she is. The agency involved knows who she is, so that's absolutely not unusual at all. But more importantly, it is also stemming from an alleged domestic violence incident. So we're right now in the process of ferreting this out. We're going to do a thorough investigation.
Whitmore says that once detectives are finished with the case, it will then be reviewed by the Sheriff's Department's office.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that story because I was, as I was doing some research, it popped up and came to mind. So let me just get back to me, and we're gonna close on out. So just anybody claiming self-defense and shooting another human being, it doesn't always fly. So when you talk about having a CCW permit for self-defense, you have to be careful out here. One thing you have to know is you just can't shoot nobody dead for threatening you or even wanting to fight you. You must first retreat and try to avoid at all costs killing another human being. If you don't first retreat in some fashion, because this is not a stand your ground state. This is not, listen, this is not a stand your ground state. You are to retreat. If all else fails, then you can use deadly force to save your life from being maimed, knocked out, and killed, and some serious bodily harm done to you. Someone threatening you to kick your ass is not considered someone doing serious bodily harm to you or maiming you. You have to understand this shit. Or you'll be in court. If you kill somebody in self-defense, first of all, you got to know this. You're getting arrested. You'll get released, but you're going to get arrested because they have to question you. If things don't pan out and you shot somebody which you thought in your mind was self-defense and killed them, you can end up getting a manslaughter charge. Shit is real up out here. Kyle Rittenhouse got locked up until he beat his case. You have to understand this. So, listen to what I'm telling you. I've thought about this. I reviewed the laws. Now, sometimes it can be a clear self-defense. Kyle Rittenhouse was a political case. So he got locked up. It was politics involved and shit like that. And it was 3 shootings and it was a riot. It was on film and, and it was outpoured outrage. Democrats was against him. You know what I mean? So his situation, he locked him up. Now, they're going to review this situation. Okay. But you got to be careful about here. So I've thought about all these rules and regulations, and I'm going to answer these questions in a minute. I don't want to get in trouble, even if it is a real self-defense case and I shot somebody dead. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be in trouble. I don't want to get a manslaughter case. So I thought about it. I'm going to retreat. I say, bro, I don't want no problems. I'm not, neither one of us need to go to jail or prison or die tonight. I don't want no problems. Leave me alone. I'm out of here. First of all, although I may want to shoot if it becomes that serious, first of all, warning shot. You have to think about a warning shot first if you don't want to be in trouble with the law. Warning shot. 90% of the time, a person will scamper and flee and get the fuck away from you if they hear a gunshot. So just firing in the air will save you a lot of problems in court, fighting a self-defense case, and going through hell just because you was trying to protect your life from some thug or some ignorant motherfucker out here that was trying to harm you. So this is advice I'm giving. And firing in the air is not proper to do. You know what I mean? Bullet can come down and harm somebody. But I only say that because you really just want someone to leave you alone and flee. You really don't want to kill another human. So hell, shit, I'll take a fire in the air charge or whatever, or just let them know, hey, I fired in the air. I was trying to retreat. I didn't want to kill this cat, so I fired in the air and wanted them to back up off me, and you'll be good. But I'm just letting you know, because people are claiming self-defense and still caught up in court. They're still in jail. It is a thin line when you take another human's life. You get what I'm saying? If you got a concealed and carry permit, just like that CHP officer that I just showed you the video of, I showed you that for a reason. She is a law enforcement officer and claimed self-defense. They investigated and her ass is in prison. So you cannot, just because you have a CCW permit, you cannot be out here cocky and just thinking you can take somebody's life that runs up on you. Would you say, T-Ben, aim at the dirt if needed? Yeah, aim at the dirt. Then they won't come down and hit somebody or harm some, you know what I mean? They aim at the dirt. That's smart, T-Ben. You know what I mean? So nobody wants to be caught up in it. You really don't want to take somebody's life. You know what I mean? Unless you just have to save your life. Understand that. Listen here. I'm going to tell you what I follow before I get out of here real quick. Like, let me show you. This channel right here is one of my favorite channels. I watch all of these scenarios because I get a notification. Well, you can't even see. I didn't even share my screen. Hold on. There we go. Okay, this channel right here, active self-protection. Right? Click on the videos, and you have nothing but scenarios of police officers in self-defense. And you'll learn a lot what to do and what not to do. Right? And this is one of my favorite channels. Because it shows actual incidents on camera. Okay? So, They even things without a weapon. Like watch this one.
To fight quickly. Now, that said, if you're not going to use the gun, if you're not sure about it, your better bet is can't believe that
Just watch this little 2-minute scenario. This guy hit this guy over the head with a rolling pin. Watch.
In today's video survived getting hit by a rolling pin this hard. Hi friends, welcome to today's lesson here at Active Self-Protection. John Correa here, your host. Today's video comes to us from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Mantis X10 firearms performance system again, he's got an accomplice kitchen and he's pointing here, guys have come. Armed robbery's already in progress here. Guys have come into this restaurant. One of them went around the back here. That's what we see on the kitchen. And he's pointing guns at folks and like, hey, give me your stuff. So again, he's got an accomplice out in the dining room of the restaurant who has sat down and is watching the door so that other people don't get to see him while he shakes down the steps. So now you see the guy getting all his stuff when he goes to get his money. Bam! Dude absolutely blows him up with a rolling pin to the noggin. Guy drops his gun. Our victim now picks the gun up, but it doesn't work. That guy is just flailing about with, I'm sure, a wicked concussion. And again, he can't get the guy's gun to work. I don't know if it was loaded or what. So he starts beating him over the head with it. And I am sure, man, nothing could have hurt as much as the rolling pin to the head, though I don't think a metal pistol to the head is any good either. Now, what I do want to say is if you go read the little bit of news story I've linked in the description, his partner starts shooting at these guys on their way out the door. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. I don't think that police have found either one of the perps, but thankfully none of...
Let me pause that because this is a teaching moment. He said they started shooting at them. Another friend of his started shooting at them on their way out the door. Understand something. That's a fleeing person. It's no longer self-defense if they're fleeing from you. You can't shoot nobody in the back. Now, the only way you can, and you may get away with it, is if they're in your home or your business, you kind of can, in a way. You know why? Let me show you why. Okay. Like I gave a scenario of, they say this guy, what's his name? Young Dolph, that got killed recently. They say his security guard, his so-called security, allegedly, fired back at the assailants as they were driving away and fleeing, and shot the car up. Now, if he hit somebody in that car, that's murder. Because they're fleeing. They're out in public in a car driving away and running away from you. Police can't even shoot nobody in the back. I don't care if they fired all off at Young Dolph and killed him and they're fleeing. You cannot just grab your gun as they're fleeing and just start blasting and shoot them on the back. Now, if they're in your home or place of business, that's a great possibility that you can. You know why? Because burglars or robbers with a gun breaking in your house and your place of business, as you've seen, the guy in that place of business had a firearm. So as he's fleeing, you're still scared and trembling, right? He can always do this, turn around and blast on you, and then keep going. So if he's in your home and you already know he has a weapon and he's fleeing and he's inside your place of business at home and you don't want to take the chance of him doing this, yeah, in that case, you can get away with possibly shooting somebody in the back. You get what I'm saying? It's an active situation. They're actively in your place of business or home and they have a firearm and whatever. You say Dana Garrison, in movies, the cops always shoot at vehicles running away. Yeah, in movies, they do. So let me just go through here and see if anybody has some questions and shit. We say nice shirt, but I like my shirt. Let you know if I get my CCW. I absolutely will. You know, I'm gonna be sitting here bragging and making a video. Yeah, so no questions. And I just wanted to make this little brief video, but it ended up being 50 damn minutes. But it's important information people need to know. I had no clue because people in the conscious community, the conscious or this pro-black community, they always say I'm a warrior, and these warriors. But like these cats don't know, these cats don't even own a firearm. How are you a warrior in 2021? You don't even have a firearm. You can't protect your wife and kids if somebody even ran up in your house. First of all, half these niggas is felons. I mean, that's, and can't even carry a firearm. You notice when I talk about firearms or two-way rights, where I talked about the court case in New York, all them niggas in New York talking that shit, old warriors, and I'm trying to share with them, it's a case in New York going on. New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Corlett. Niggas in New York might be able to conceal and carry now because of this Supreme Court case. One of the most important Supreme Court. I've been sharing. Nobody cares. All they care about is if you training for some war, some kind of civil war, and all that shit hypes them and get them excited. It's never gonna happen. I be talking about self-protection laws and gun rights, and I'm like, yeah, these cats don't know nothing about this shit. They don't care about the Supreme Court case. Then they sitting up in New York crying about we can't conceal and carry. They got tough laws. Man, you guys ain't even supporting laws. You guys ain't shared no videos about it. If you guys not promoting and getting the public involved and have people talking about it so it can pass and we can get some support and some advocacy. I'm an advocate. Just like I was a reparations advocate. I'm a 2A advocate. I'm not a one-trick pony like a lot of y'all. I'll be talking some real shit. If we talking business, I'm talking some real business. I'm doing some real business. We talking warrior shit, I'm talking about some training and some firearms and some 2A community talk. What's wrong with y'all talking about you warriors and shit? But anyway, you have to learn the laws of self-defense in your state. You have to know about gun laws or you will be in prison. It ain't about just getting a firearm and saying, yeah, nobody better not do nothing to me. Yeah, it ain't even about that, family. You don't want to kill another man. I mean, you may, but you don't really want to do that and be caught up in court and your self-defense case don't pass and you get manslaughter. I'm up on all these laws. Like I follow hold on. This is what y'all need to do. Hold on real quick. Real quick, y'all. Let me find this. Okay, here we go.
So a new bill has been...
Real quick, and we out of here. I follow this guy, right? Hold on. And why? His channel is called Armed Scholar. I don't know if you can see. Armed Scholar. He's an attorney in California in regards to gun rights, gun laws. So I hit the notifications. So when he put up a video, I listen to it. And he keeps me abreast on gun laws and gun rights. What's upcoming, what's going on. So in your state, find you a gun rights attorney who has a YouTube channel. And hit the subscribe button and notifications. So I'm up on the gun laws and rules of California because I'm a California resident. You don't need to listen to that attorney if you're not in California. You need to listen to an attorney who's about 2A rights and gun laws in your state. So I'm telling people, if you're a CCW permit holder and you're not following these channels, you're not following gun rights attorneys and stuff like that, you may not know the laws and you're going to get your motherfucking self locked up. Because to have a CCW, they only want people with a CCW responsible, upstanding citizens. Not just no ignorant motherfuckers that just want to pack a gun and, you know. The 2A community is a responsible community. You see, when I was showing you my gun, how I took the ammo out before I start talking about it and showing, we're a responsible community about gun safety. Now, I do keep them always loaded, but when I talk about it and I share and I'm having gun rights talks, I unload it and have a conversation. We're a responsible community. Yeah, Junebug in New York State, it's hard to get a conceal and carry in New York, but you have had yours for years? Okay. I don't know if you live in a rural area or you had a good, you showed good calls. I don't know how in New York you did, but check this out before I go.
From Pistol Association v. Core Light, carry permit.
Now, this is the Supreme Court case I'm talking about. Wait a minute, y'all can't see. I'm sitting here. If y'all can see, Supreme Court carry permit decision incoming. New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Corlett. You guys need to follow that case. It is currently going on right now. And in New York, you guys may be able to conceal and carry. Real soon. I've been following this case. I've been telling people, you guys should post this case. You should share a video on it. That way more people know about it. That way more people can advocate. If black folk in New York are not advocating for their gun rights, shut your damn mouth crying. Like for real, like shut your mouth crying about you can't conceal and carry to protect your family if you're not advocating. See, black folk can't just be it's what we do. See, we just sit around, oh, okay, whatever. Ain't nobody advocate, ain't nobody talking about, you know what I mean? You got to advocate to get laws changed. You got to be into it. Would you say, Junie Bug, you live in Lackawanna, New York? I'm not familiar with that, but is it a rural area? Away from the boroughs? You know, New York is tough. They say the 5 boroughs can't get shit. You're not getting no CCW if in the 5 boroughs. You know what I mean? You may soon. You say World Report by Dr. Rothschild. What you say? California is a bullshit state. You know what? I'm in California, and I'm gonna agree with you. As far as gun rights, they suck. It's changing though. That's why I made this video, because I was excited. Or you say basically Buffalo, New York. Okay. Yeah, I've been to Buffalo. I had a little long distance relationship. I went to Buffalo twice. It was always windy and shit. And a little chilly. Yeah, so I think Buffalo, yeah, they're more relaxed than around the 5 boroughs. So yeah. I understand now, Junie Bud. Okay, y'all, that's some good information. I'm just trying to educate and inform, you know. See, people be like, I don't do shit for views. I don't get paid for this shit on YouTube. Anything, a video I make or share, is with good intent. I'm trying to clarify something. I'm trying to warn the people about others. I'm just trying to share proper history, not revised history, proper science, history, gun rights talk. Anything I do, I'm trying to form, or if I'm exposing somebody, it's a righteous thing, because that somebody I'm exposing is a damn demon and wicked and needs to be removed from the community and people's YouTube channels. I'm to the core, Chief X, the God Best, reincarnated, protector of women and children. I live my life by that. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all be good. All right, Information Man. So I'm gonna call you this weekend, Information Man.